Salute to my boxing community, my nocturnal thought, night owls, all my nocturnal beings out there, all my vampires, all my Van Helsings, you know what I'm saying, my community, all my subscribers. And my heart goes out to y'all. Everything in this world is tough, and it's only a few people I trust, but it's a lot of people that subscribe to my channel that got my respect. So I salute y'all from Nocturnal Thoughts. This is going to be a little quick fun video for me. I'm halfway through my workout. I'm about to go do some chopping on my tree because it's fun for me to do this thing. I don't, I'm just tired of the same old push-ups and, what I'm saying, lifting up weights and these things like that don't really, they don't get the juices flowing like I want them to sometimes. So going over here with this axe and knocking down this timber, it does something for me, Plus it's quick, it's easy, it's cardio, it's productive. You see something happening. Sometimes when you lifting weights, man, you don't see nothing happening. So I'm about to go get into that. But before I do that, I thought I would share some of my thoughts with you and give you some fight predictions and try to make this video less than 8 minutes. Fight prediction for Danny Garcia versus Errol Spence, or Errol the True Spence against Danny Swift Garcia. My fight prediction for Jermell Iron Man Charlo versus Jason the Banana Rosario. Jamal Charlo, Hitman, the Iron Man that didn't Hitman. Jamal Hitman Charlo. I don't know Sergey's boxing name, but Sergey Deverenchenko. My fight prediction with that. My fight prediction with Teofimo Lopez, the Takeover, and high tech Vasil Lomachenko, the Matrix. And did I say Danny and Errol? Okay, boom. I'm 2 minutes in. Let me wet my beak. Wet my whistle. All right, fight prediction time. I'm predicting a lot of knockouts. A lot of knockouts. First of all, let me get this one out the way. Jamal Hitman Charlo versus Sergey Deverenchenko. I just finished watching Hitman Charlo and J. Rock Williams. And then I watched Jamar Charlo against Dennis Hogan. Then I watched Deverenchenko against GGG, and I watched Deverenchenko against Daniel Jacobs. My fight prediction for Jamar Charlo versus Deverenchenko: a knockout by uppercut. I see an uppercut from Jamar Charlo, a nice, tight inside uppercut that's gonna knock Deverenchenko out. And if he don't knock him out with the uppercut, he gonna check him, hit him with the uppercut, and he gonna follow it with a hook, a nice, tight, short hook, and it's gonna be lights out for Deverenchenko. I don't see this fight going 12. I think it's gonna be a rough, tough, rugged, grueling, tactical, telephone booth, chess match. It's gonna be a dope fight, a barn burner. But at the end of the day, I see a knockout, probably within 10 rounds. So I'm gonna say an 8th round knockout. I might be off a round or two, but an 8-round knockout. Jamar Charlo knocks out Deverenchenko. Definitely, no matter what, I see Jamar Charlo winning, and I definitely see Deverenchenko touching the canvas multiple times. If he don't get knocked out, he touching the canvas multiple times. Moving on, Jermell Charlo, Iron Man Charlo versus Banana. That's gonna be a tougher one. That's gonna be a tough fight, close fight. Both of those guys have tasted the agony of defeat and the sweet victory. They both came from losses and came back victorious. The Banana lost against Nathaniel Gallimore, came back and won against J. Rock Williams. Knocked him out. embarrassed him. Whew. You know what I'm saying? In his backyard, embarrassed him. That's tough. You've seen a lot of emotion on the Banana's face, on Jason Rosario. You seen a lot of emotion overcome him. My thing is this: when all that emotion overcame him, was that him crossing the finish line? Has he been spending the rest of his time doing a victory lap, or did he get back to the grind and get prepared to go back into the blender? You know what I'm saying? They say that you can take a fool and put him through the grinder, but you still can't grind out all the foolery. Now, he's training serious if he's still with the same training camp he was in when he fought J. Rock Williams, which to my understanding was one of his first real training camps where he really trained and dedicated his life to boxing, eating right, sleeping right, and training right. So if he sticks to that format, I expect to see improvements, wrinkles, and the same grit and the same heart. But my prediction for Jamel Charlo, who had a tough fight going in there with Tony Harrison, controversial loss, which I thought that he edged out the win. I feel like you got to take the belt from the champion. I seen in the 12th round, he had Tony Harrison's head bobbling all around and had him clutching on and holding on for dear life. The judge just saw it the other way. They gave it to Tony Harrison. Had a rematch. Tony Harrison pulled out of the rematch due to an ankle injury. Step in Jorge Cota, and he got sparked out. They finally made the rematch, and Tony Harrison put on a good boxing performance, got dropped in the second round, got dropped 2 times in the 11th round, and automatically was waved off by Jack Reese, I think was the referee, and said, you know, enough, I've seen enough. Jamel Charlo retains his championship. You see him overcome. He got so overcome with victory, he jumped up on the ropes before the fight was even over, you know? So they both are coming off of a high of victory. Clashing, 2 champions. Nobody's going to want to give up that belt. Nobody's going to want to taste that agony of defeat again. But I'm giving the edge to Jamel Charlo. I see Jason Rosario getting dropped at least 1 or 2 times, gritting out, hanging in there to probably about the 11th round. So I predict a knockout, a TKO. I predict a technical knockout by the 11th round by Jamel Charlo. I digress. Let me move on. The Truth, Errol Spence, The Truth versus Danny Garcia is a tougher call for me because it's been such a long layoff for Errol Spence, and you just don't know what kind of rust has accumulated. I've seen him in training. He looks like he's in beast mode, beast mode, beast mode, beast mode, beast mode, I tell you. And Danny Garcia seems like he's going to kind of go through the same, status quo training. I definitely think he's taking this fight serious, but I think he also is like, if it's not broke, don't fix it. I'm going to stick to what I'm comfortable with. He's not coming from the same type of a deficit of Errol Spence, who, had that horrific car accident and things of that nature. Both of them have admitted that they kind of got comfortable and content in their careers and kind of got a little lazy and lack, the passion for the training and the dieting and the discipline. And they both seem to have a re-emergence of focus. But I think Errol Spence's focus is going to be a little bit more laser sharp. I know for a fact, in my opinion, Errol Spence just has more arsenal, more firepower, and he has more gears than Danny Garcia. But one thing I don't want to see Errol Spence doing is, staying in the pocket for too long and just trading power shots with Danny Garcia. Danny Garcia, if not anything, has mastered the ability of throwing that crazy hook. I think his balance, Danny Garcia has very, 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 very good balance and a very good foundation. When he winds back and throw that hook, if he lands that hook, it's devastational. But he has to be planted. He has to really, really, really have his feet planted, almost nailed to the canvas, and twerk his whole torso over and swing back with all his power. And I don't see him getting off a slow motion. I don't know why his name is Danny Swift Garcia. His name should be like Danny Dynamite, You know what I'm saying? But Swift, I don't see Swift. It takes him a long time to get from here all the way to here. And I don't see him catching Errol Spence with that shot. My fight prediction for Errol Spence and Danny Garcia is a tough, grueling fight. Both of these guys are going to be knocking off some rust. I think once Errol Spence gets lathered up and gets lubricated and oiled up, pause, I think he's going to put on a boxing clinic, and it's going to be a combination of what he did to Mikey Garcia and Sean Porter. However, I do not see a knockout, but I do see Danny Garcia touching the canvas, taking the knee. I think he's going to get overwhelmed mentally and physically. He's going to take a knee, but he's going to take a moral victory and go into 12 rounds. But I will see him banged up. Danny Garcia is going to be banged up. His eyes is going to be banged up. You know what I'm saying? He's going to be scraped up. He's going to have red marks all across his face, and he's going to take some punishment to the body. But he's not going to get knocked out. I don't think so. I think he's going to get knocked down most definitely. Errol Spence is going to win by probably a majority decision. Moving on before I get out of here. Oh, by the way, who did I watch? I watched Danny Garcia fight. Of course, I watched the American fight. Who did I just finish watching Danny Garcia fight? Because he got a lot of fights. Keith Thurman and Sean Porter. I watched those fights just recently. And then I just went down memory lane with Errol Spence watching Sean Porter. And who else did I watch him fight? I watched the Mikey Garcia fight just a couple of days ago. The Errol Spence versus Mikey Garcia. Yeah, just an underrated fight. Good fight. Commentation was crazy. You know what I'm saying? Last but not least, Teofimo Lopez, the Takeover, versus high-tech Vasily Lomachenko, the Matrix. Then I'm going to go chop some wood. I see a knockout. I see I'm just throw this one out there for fun. For fun. I do this for fun. Technically, high-tech Lomachenko got all the skills to pay the bills. He got a, crazy amateur. Gary Russell Jr. recently said he just fights like an amateur. You know what I'm saying? He fights like a point system amateur. But of course, Gary Russell is still eating sour grapes. But I think Vasily Lomachenko just comes with a craft, a very high-tech craft. But I will not deny he was dropped by Linares. He did get clipped by Gary Russell Jr. And I think Teofimo Lopez has some power and some athleticism to him that's getting taken for granted. Teofimo Lopez has a very nasty catch and shoot. I don't think that Teofimo Lopez will be able to outbox Vasily Lomachenko. I think Lomachenko is going to be putting on somewhat of a boxing clinic, and he's going to get caught with something.
Surprise, motherfucker!
In the 5th round. So I'm saying a 5th round knockout for Teofimo Lopez. Like I said, I do this for fun. Let me go chop some wood. I appreciate y'all time. Take it easy. Nothing but thoughts. I'm out. Peace.